Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Vienna, your MC for tonight's Global Entrepreneur presentation. I'm honored to be inviting a superwoman who I love to call gorgeous. I just love to call her that. You'll see why later. I've known her since 2006 as I got to interact with her at one of our global rallies in USA. She's one lady I highly look upon for advisors with a vast knowledge, experience, and passion in the business and products to help many others. She used to be a nurse, then became a pet farm owner, all because she wanted more money to support her family. Then she realized she needed a better opportunity for more time flexibility that can still bring her money and health, most importantly. That's when she chanced upon Forever. Since then, with an endless passion to always help others, with the support of the Forever system, she has achieved so much, receiving many recognitions from Forever for her work. So let's watch a short video of her.
Give us a good life, enjoy a good health. Let's do it together.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a presentation organized by Forever Living Products. So if you have any questions, please contact the person who invited you to the presentation. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sapphire Manager Roslyn Ng.
Hi everyone, good evening. And it's really nice to come upon this platform to share what is Forever. I've joined Forever since 2000. And so what happened here is I'll be using my personal so-called testimonial to share you how, why I choose Forever and how I enjoy Forever so much since 2000 to now. Thanks, Vienna, for wonderful introduction. I know her since she's only 18. All right, so I thought was something very interesting. All right, so with that, my sharing tonight will include my personal testimonial. I'll be using my personal so-called experience to share about Forever. Okay, the next thing is why should I help my friends? All right, example, why do I need to share with other people? To me, is important. And which industry should I choose to be in? Why do I choose in this industry? Because I'm a nurse, right? So all you know is I should be, if you are in Singapore right now, probably in many places you'll see that we need nurse, we need more nurse. All right, so should I go back to be a nurse? The answer is, I'll let you know later, of course. Okay, why do I choose Forever? So which company do I choose? I hope for people who are new in this industry itself, or you are new in Forever itself, why I choose Forever, which I think is very important. Next thing is the generous payout, like what Vienna said. I needed this income. Why? Because I wanted to have more time, because I want to quit nursing and just focus on doing Forever so that I have the time and the freedom to take care of my children, which I think is very important. And how can I begin from here? So these are the few points that I'm going to touch on tonight. All right, so without further ado, for all of you who are joining me tonight, should you have any questions, you can always put up your hand later. Thank you. All right, so I always, when I joined Forever, then I understand there's 4 ways of income. And that was the time where I know about about employment itself. So I was being employed, and then I understand, actually, I use my time to trade, to earn an income. That means I was being paid for the time that I worked for. So I'm being an employer before, and self-employed. That means you own a job. I didn't know when you are self-employed, you're known as a own a job until I joined Forever. Next thing is own a business. So owning a business itself is actually owning a system, which I didn't know because I own a business and I thought I'm a business owner until I joined Forever. Again, investor is owning an investment, using your money to trade money so that you can grow your money. So this is really very interesting where I learned from here. So Forever itself is very simple, as in helping others to get what they want, and what you will get what you want. I love this statement very much. It's actually in the early days itself, Rex will always use this, helping others to get what they want, you get what you want. In the early days, Rex will always say this. So this is really something. So I used to be a nurse. All right. So my dream was to become a doctor, but too bad because during my Sec 2 in Singapore, so during streaming time, it's not that I did not do well. It's just that only the top 20% will get into the so-called science stream. So for me, I did not squeeze into the top 20%. Therefore, I can only choose art. So therefore, I cannot be a doctor anymore. So after that, then I decided, since I cannot be a doctor, why not just be a nurse? So I became a nurse. All right. So this is very simple. So after that, I was not happy because I don't really have enough time. My income was not high. And I asked myself, so how, maybe I should join my husband to do insurance because back then he's doing insurance. So in 1995, when my daughter was born, right, my first child was born, I decided to join insurance industry. So that's where I go. But after that, I'm still not happy. You know why? Because there is actually so-called Asia crisis in 1998. And I say we cannot put everything into one basket. So I decided to leave. I think I should leave the industry itself. All right. So what happened here is I think, maybe I can actually do a little business itself. So I went to distribute. Actually, I own about 1,000 hamsters. Okay, I got rabbits that imported from Australia, and I have guinea pigs and so on. So it became quite well known. A little bit of names. That's why I was being published on the newspaper. They came to so-called understand how this business works. So in those days itself, once you are gone on the newspaper, that's it. Your business will pay, and from there itself. So, but what I want to say is, in this business itself, I ran for 2 years after insurance itself. So, during the crisis in 1998, I went to join this business. So imagine, I was being paid, a paid nurse. That means time to time, how much of my hours I get my monthly paid. So every month is the same. All right. So during that time itself, I don't have any so-called pay increment much. Even for my pay at that time in 1989 is actually about 1,100 itself. So if you look at pay increment of 1,000, 5%, pardon me. So it's about $60. So what can you do make a difference of your life when you have a pay increment of $60? So I was not satisfied because I was thinking that I can't even own a car. Why do you want to learn driving? So in the end, I decided to join my husband to do insurance, thinking that I probably can do that. But in the end, I was just owning the job. All right, so I own a job of myself. So after that, I went into business thinking that I buy 2 businesses. One is the rabbit business. I buy about 25,000. After I buy another hamsters business, so another 15,000. So I put in all the money. But the good news is for the next 2 years itself, I worked 365 days. I always say, too bad the rabbits and the hamster don't know how to flush themselves. So every day I got to go and clean all their litters. My dear friends, if you only have one rabbit, clearing one rabbit's litters is very simple, right? If you have 1,000 hamsters and 80 rabbits to clear, I tell you, the amount of trash bag that I clear every day is coming to about 10 to 15 bags itself, trash bag. Wow, that is really, to me, it's a nightmare. After 2 years, not about the so-called waste, but it's actually, I did not actually make any money. All my income from my insurance and everything, I still got not enough money to use. I still need to ask my husband, Thomas, hey, I need more money. So I feel very sad about myself, instead of owning a business and making more time for myself, I work Monday to Sunday for the next 2 years, and I got no off day because the rabbits need me. I need to feed them and clear them. And that was really going really, I was really tired. I was asking myself, why am I in this, why I go into this so-called pet business itself, although I love pets, but it's really not for me. So back then, someone came to talk to me about Forever, which is my husband, good friend. We used to do insurance together. So he came to my farm and visit me, and then asked me out for a coffee, and then talked to me about the business, which is very interesting. I was interested as in, when I went for the OPP, that's what you're going through right now, the marketing plan itself. And then this person shared about this story. Daddy, how much do you earn per hour? This story. I'm going to tell you this story right now. Till today, I cannot forget, and I love to tell this story. So this story goes this way. There's this man who work very hard every day, day in, day out, every day he work. And then he come back in the late night itself, the children all sleeping. So every night, whenever he come back, he will actually go and pick the children, say, oh, it's my son sleeping. So one day as he opened the door, the son wake up and sit up, say, hi, daddy, So when your son wake up in the night, when you come back from late night or work, I don't know how many of you have experienced this, you will get very happy because your son wake up, just like me, when my daughter wake up, when I come back late night after I work, right, I will get very happy just to even chit chat a short while of 20 to 30 minutes. That really make my day. So what happened here is this daddy saw the son wake up, and the son asked daddy, so how are you today? Just chit chatting. So after that, he asked daddy, how much do you earn per hour? Wow, this made the daddy very angry. Wow, this son must be up there to buy something, That's why he's asking me how much I make per hour. So daddy was unhappy. So daddy answered the son, I make $20 per hour. So this son actually filled up the pillow. Underneath the pillow got money. So he prepared to meet the father, right? He take out $40 and asked, daddy, can I buy 2 hours of your time? I will never forget this story because back then when I was doing nursing, when I had my daughter, actually I worked 12-hour shift, and I'm so hardworking, right? Because I work, I only have every 14 days I got one off. That means I work 12 to 12. I get out of the house at about 7. I start work at 8. I finish work at 8, and by the time I reach home, it's about 9:30. So imagine if you have a girlfriend like that. Thomas will always send me to work. That's my ex-boyfriend, present husband. And then he'll send me to work and then pick me back. And then we probably have supper, late dinner, and then send me home, sleep, and then go to work again. So by the time I come to having my own children, it's also the same. That's why I decided to join him, because I say, hey, insurance quite free and easy. Huh? All right, seeing my husband, wow, every time go play mahjong, drink coffee, I thought, hey, something that I want to join. That's why I started joining him. But I thought I can actually have more time. But I find that, wow, it's really not an easy task when the crisis come. Wow, this is something that really hit onto me. So when I come into this job itself, I ask myself, what can I make a difference? So after the OPP, I go back and think, I just can't sleep, really can't sleep after they share. So I have a dream. I have a dream of earning extra income. I wanted financial freedom. I like to buy things as and when I liked. I do not know, do you have this, as in even going for a meal, you got to think, oh, what should I eat? Is it too expensive? I hope to own a business. I want to have more time for my children. Back then, I only have one girl. So I was like hoping to have more time for her. I hope to learn more things. I love to learn new things. I want to help other people. I just love to meet people. I'm not that so-called, I love to meet people as in to make new friends. I was always thinking of retirement. That's why when I was doing insurance, I thought about retirement. So, but I realized this both can get me into retirement. I want to leave a legacy. Maybe some of you will always think of that. I want to travel the world. All right. So all these are part and parcel of my dreams. I believe some of my friends have the same dreams as just like me. Many of my nursing friends itself, there's a lot of things that back then we don't dare to do much, and that's because of our limited income itself. So that's one of the things that I always remember. That's why being a nurse is what I love too, because my dream was to become a doctor. But whereas I can't become a doctor because of the so-called education, so-called system itself, I'm so-called kicked out. So I become a nurse. But I still have a desire of a dream of having all these things, So when I see Forever itself, I see there's a chances that I can actually achieve this together with someone together. And the first 2% I think of was actually my two sisters. All right, so it's very interesting. The first thing first, I think of my two sisters. So I actually thought of them. And thinking of now, during the pandemic itself, I guess many of us will probably meet up with a lot of friends, or maybe our relative, or maybe even our siblings, complaining about this COVID that causes a lot of problem to us, income, and not enough time and things like that, can't go out and things like that. So these are the precious moment beside health, beside having income problems itself. This will be an opportunity for us to share with this group of the people. And which industry should I go in? Do you have friends who always ask you, I feel like changing job, I feel like changing things, they do not know where to go. So this is the time that I urge you to share with them, give them a chance, just tell them, let them decide, nothing to lose. It's just like you want a coffee and tea, you ask your friend coffee and tea, allow them to choose. If you don't tell them coffee or tea, don't give them a chance, that means they can only drink plain water. So give them a choice, a chance to choose. They might not join us today in this industry, but one of these days, they might join us. So there's an opportunity. Why should I choose this industry? And I always remember this person, Bill Gates, such a rich man. And he shared about this. And there's many of them that talk about why they want to choose network. And this is Bill Gates. He says that if I would be given a chance to start over again, I would choose network marketing. And this is where in the early days till today, I still remember this. And many of you, if you are, I joined in year 2000. In year 2000 itself, I think it's a blessing of the year. Why? Because forever, network marketing was not allowed, become a direct sales in Singapore. On the year 2000 itself, in June, okay, the act in Singapore lifted up and say, okay, now we can do multi-level. And the first company was being accepted was who? Forever. All right, so that's the time that I came in. And at the same time, the person who written the newspaper about the network marketing that is able to do this business in Singapore itself was my friend. All right, so I was very fascinated. Actually, after that, he became my customer. All right, so I was very excited because the newspaper talked about it. And I was actually thinking of starting this business. I was like, wow, that was in April 2000 itself. And let's look at now. Many people think that, wow, last year was COVID, right? Life is difficult. Everything is difficult. When you hear about the business, the GDP, everything was like dropping everywhere. It's not doing well. But look at this network itself. In 2020 itself, last year, all right, think of year-end December itself, they announced World Federation of Direct Selling Association. When I read this, I get very fascinated. Why? Because there's an increase in growth, 5.8%, my dear friends. It's 179.3 billion sales itself. My goodness. It just means that there's an opportunity and this is growing and everyone is looking for an opportunity and they find that it's comfortable to really work in this area itself. Let's look in Singapore. I'm so sorry I couldn't find the rest of the country. I realized that in 2017 is 357 million, 218 grow again, 219 grow again. Last year was pandemic. All right, the whole of Singapore talk about, wow, our business have been dropping. So I always wonder, how about Singapore? So I call Jeffrey and ask, hey, can you tell me about what's happened in Singapore Direct Sales Association itself? So he gave me this number. It's really eye-opening. 2020 grow 416 million itself in Singapore. My dear friends, if you are Singaporean and you are actually going through this marketing plan with me itself, and you're still thinking whether in this network marketing, does it work? I'm telling you it is, and people are feeling very comfortable buying from this company itself. So this is very, very simple, very important. So let's look into why this industry itself. Like what I say, many of us will still think of traditional business. So a traditional business itself will always have a manufacturer. After they manufacture something, anything you can think of, clothing, food, or whatever, they'll go through a wholesaler, go through a distributor, channel, retail, and then the consumer will buy. So every level you go, there's a percentage of people that is so-called they're earning. So just imagine every level is actually 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. In our early days, we always ask, can you imagine when you go and buy toilet roll, all right, and when you realize that when you are buying from the manufacturer itself, it probably costs you only 50 cents for 12 for 12 roll itself. So will you say that you won't clean your backside anymore? The answer is no. But unless you want to buy that amount so much, so this is important. It's the same thing. Manufacturer always sell in so-called dozen and so on. So this is under direct sales. What direct sales do was there is a manufacturer, and then they take away all the middlemen, which is known as the wholesaler, the distributors, and the retailers itself, directly through you and me, share with the customers itself. So it's through us. So it cut away all these people itself. So let's, I put here own plantation. Forever is different. We don't take material from other people. We actually have our own plantation of aloe vera. So this is very important if you did not know about that. So I will share about this later on. So in this industry itself, if you are into a traditional business, like what I said earlier on, if you still remember, I buy the business of a rabbit business, the hamster business. So I bought two businesses in order to start my so-called small animal industry in Singapore itself. So with that, I need to put in investment fund to buy to start off the business. And then when you put in, remember, I lost all my money, including all my monthly rental buying. I always remember whenever I bring in 80 rabbits from Melbourne, 40 will die. So the price become very dear. So this is important. The mortality rates itself is 100% that you cannot imagine the amount that you put in. At the end of the day of 2 years, I actually only earned something. What is that? Experience of how to do a business, and I lost and I have a minus of 100,000. So I was like, what am I doing? From a job paying, as a nurse, I was being paid until I go into minus. I was just saying that, what have I done to myself? All right. And that's because I thought I love animals. I have the experience of how to take care of animals, but I never know this experience itself is not enough. So the place selection and everything, the fund that I choose, but in network marketing itself, is very simple. There's no investment. So when I just came into Forever, after I listened to the marketing plan, they tell me I do not need to put in investment fund to start the business with Forever. So I was like, how this business is going to work? Sure. When you don't put in the investment fund, there's no risk, which is very true. Because when I put in all the money of the investment to buy the farm, the two farm itself, the hamsters and the rabbit farm itself, these are the money upfront you pour in. Don't forget, you still need to build the place. You still need to pay for the rental, the food and everything. I always say that if you don't eat, your hamsters and rabbit need to eat. So this is very important. So you do not need to have experience. Honestly, I'm not a salesperson. All right. That's why back then, in year 2000, when my husband know that I'm joining Forever itself, he will say, please don't do it because you can never sell things. That's why you fail in doing your rabbit business, because I don't know how to sell rabbits. I can give a lot of good education, how to train rabbits, how to toilet train them, how to walk them, how to take care of the rabbits itself, but I just can't sell them. That's why he think that please don't go to another business itself, and you can't sell aloe vera. So forget about it. So back then, when I buy one toothpaste from Forever, he'll buy 10 Colgate. If I buy shampoo bag, he'll buy Pantene. At the time, still got Pantene. I do not know about now. He'll buy the whole dozen that will last for a year kind of thing, because he think that please, it's too expensive, it's overpriced. That is this thinking. All right. And this is important. So you do not need all this. So it becomes very simple and easy to start the business itself. And with that itself, I find that it is so interesting. So back in 2004 itself, when Rex came to Singapore and says that he want to buy a so-called premises to let us use the building, I mean, to use it as a so-called office itself. I remember the person who helped Rex to buy this so-called Tongji, as in this building itself, is a national monument, which is actually one of my so-called downline itself. So you want to buy Altaf Mansion because he said beautiful, all right, because up on the mountain, all right, but it's only 30 years lease. So Rex saying you don't want to spend that money on a 30 years lease itself. So when you look at this building, Tong Chai building is Tongji, right? So when it came out itself, I remember when I walked in, back then was a discotheque, and then after that, the discotheque was not doing well, so it closed down. Wow, I see the curtain was like spoiled, wind blow. I thought, wow, why Rex want to buy such a rundown building? But the interesting part is, he said one thing that made me feel so happy till today. I really want to honor that. He says that I want to make the Chinese feel proud when they walk into this premises itself. Honestly, all my customers and my so-called partners who are friends who walk into my office or Forever itself in Singapore, they were always very fascinated about my office. Our office is so beautiful. So these newspapers are important. Downtown, in the whole town itself, Forever have a building that we own. What does it mean? A commitment of the business itself, which I think is really very important. So with that, I decided to set a goal. In year 2000, I met Rex. So that year, the team was Dare to Dream. And I was the MC of the year, all right, for that rally in year 2000. So I took a picture of him. I say, wow, this boss, why everybody say love him? All right. So I look at the marketing plan and look at him. I say, this man is very interesting because he will come and take picture with everyone. And I say, okay. He says, set a goal and earn more money to get in Forever itself. The check is blank. Write it for yourself. He said that to me. All right. I say, okay. All right. I will try, you know. So what I did was I set a goal for year 2001. That year, they say they want to go to San Francisco. And then the local trip was actually going for a Star Cruise. And there's an EIP that they talk about. I can use that to buy a car. I set a goal of earning 5,000. That's what. All right. I become a manager that year. Okay, year 2000. And I actually earned my incentive. That's the car. And I bought a new car. I still remember we bought an Odyssey for ourselves. And then all thanks to, I want to show the picture of my daughter, because when I do this dream board itself, what I did was my daughter put a bicycle there, and that year she managed to buy a bicycle for herself. So this is really powerful. So I think this company is really wonderful. So with that, I must tell you what really made me love Forever. It's actually the products, really the products, right? I tell myself that the product must pass my standard. I'm so-called ego, right? As in, I must test the product. I say that to my sponsor, Mr. So. I must test the product, whether the product is suitable for me or not. All right, so I use this the honey because we use a lot of honey. Back then, we always buy from Australia. So when I use the honey, we fall in love with the honey. Till today, our family use about 1 bottle a week or more. So this is interesting. Back then, because I need to work long hours, so Forever Light was just nice. All right, so I find that after drinking Forever Light, everybody say that I look better. I'm not so haggard. And then because I got all these pimple-like things on my head, on my scalp. So when I use this bath jelly itself, it solved a lot of my problem, my skin problem and everything. But the most important thing was this girl. My girl was always having fever. Okay, 2 weeks having fever, 1 week down, 3rd week fever come again. And that's lasted from 0 years old all the way to when she's 5, when Forever come in. So I've been doing a lot of things, seeing doctors every 3 weeks, getting antibiotics. I have the interesting part, we have used all the antibiotics in Singapore for her. It just don't work for her. All right. So it's just fever up, fever down, 3rd week come, 2 weeks down, then come again. So the fever just come, go. Every 2 weeks we see doctor until Dr. Wee know us. Every time you stand by a lollipop for my girl, Jillian. All right, so I always find it's very pitiful because I'm a nurse, so I work in the ICU. And then whenever she got fever, I put her into the toilet and then I'll rinse her, I'll bathe her. People think that I'm crazy, but I just want to tell you that I'm that crazy. Make sure that the fever come down. But the good news is when I started giving her aloe itself, the fever go down. I do not need to give so much of Panadol. She will always have Panadol, suppository, everything you can think of to stop the fever from coming. Panadol can reduce the fever. We're still at 38.5. If not, it will go up to 40. So that's why I need to shower her. Aloe bring down the fever. I was really like not certain about it. How these help? All right, so there goes. And then instead of every month seeing doctors, every alternate week seeing doctors, you go into 1 month, 3 months, and then after 9 months later, no more doctors. Until Dr. We think that we have changed our family doctors, but we didn't. So this aloe itself is also Rex's favorite. All right, so it's aloe peach, right? That back then is my girl's favorite till she's 7 years old. Guess what? Whenever she meet children at the playground and the children got fever, she'll tell the mother, Auntie, you should call my mommy, all right, so that she will give you the aloe vera so that your son will not have fever. That's how wonderful. That's why I choose, because my daughter loved the aloe vera. I was just thinking, if the products really speak by itself, why didn't I use it for myself? So this is very important. So I decided to do the business because of this girl. All right. So with that, the generous payout itself, as I was telling you, I have a dream of earning 5,000 from Forever. But I don't know how. Remember, I don't know how to sell things. And I just continue to share whatever I know about the aloe, how it worked on my daughter. So I just share. So with that, the interesting part was there's a range of products. All right. I remember I got a lot of dandruff for 2 years. I couldn't solve the problem. But during a product talk itself, they tell me the shampoo can solve my problem. So I use it. And true enough, the 3 years problem solved. So it goes into, I have started at pimples because of I was under the sun and was not taking care of myself. So I started to have developed pimples and pigment all over my face itself during the 2 years when I was doing this pet business itself. And these really helped me and my face clear up. And guess what? Because of that, my friend, I call her Xiao Hua, that is a pretty lady in the school, okay? So the most pretty girls in school, we call them Xiao Hua. So she called me up and say, Rose, what are you using for your skin? I thought of using it till today. Since 2000, she used this product till today. She's still using my skincare. We both have our daughter, and our daughters are in our 20s. And right now, her daughter got skincare problems. She will ask me, so what should I use for her girls? Can you imagine? It's not just for ourselves, but now it's actually our children who are also using the product and loving the products for the skincare itself. So there's a whole range of products from inside out. All right. So you can choose from using to consuming, change of products itself. So it's really interesting. So there's a range of products that you can actually share with anyone that can think of. This is the range of products that is in Malaysia. All right. So I've a group of people who are staying in Alostar, very far away. Long time ago, I've been there. Till today, there's a group of customers are in Alostar are still using my products, and all because of one item. Guess which one? Aloe jelly. All right, this auntie actually have a burn and the son is in Singapore. And she realized that after using the aloe jelly and then the burn soft, and from there onward, she believed in our products and start sharing the products itself. So it's really interesting. She got a small group of customers just because of aloe jelly, and she started to share and she used more products itself. So it's excellent. So you never know what is going on. All right, so this is between Singapore and Malaysia. As I see, when you see the range of product, you will find that everyone is an opportunity, from face to consuming and to use anything. So this is wonderful. Let me take you through with the business plan itself. So first thing first is we need to know CC is known as case credit. We use it to measure the volume, okay, of sales. Just as good as saying that in Singapore, one bottle of aloe is $47.62. In Malaysia, it's about $99. It's under retail price. So if I go into states and the rest of the country, because we've got 160 countries, so it's very hard to measure the volume in the rest of the country. All right. For me, I have business in Australia. I do not know who is using it in Australia. One of my partners have been sharing. So it actually went into Australia. And then I got in Hong Kong. I got people who are using in UK. I have people using in US, and some people using in Malaysia, and so on. But so it's very hard to measure the so-called volume, but the CC itself is actually helping us to measure the sales. So if you realize the price is higher, then the CC is higher. So this is to help us. So that's very simple. So please help me to understand. CC means case credit. So if you see aloe itself is 0.129, that's a case credit known as CC. All right, that's what I want to share. So to join the business is very simple. You must be 18 years old and above. Are you 18? If you're not, don't worry, you can wait, okay? All right. So if you are inside here listening to our talks itself, listening to my sharing itself, and you are below 18, don't worry, next year you can join us. All right. So this is very important, 18 and above. So when we hear this, we get very fascinated. Whenever any of our children turn 18, we'll start to share the business with them. I do not know about you, but I did that. When my girl, Jillian turned 18 itself, I shared the business with her. And she have her own small group of customers. Why? Because her face is like baby. If you really see Jillian's skin, just like Diana, her skin is like baby like that. So all her friends want to know what she used. So she have small so-called party of how to use the skincare. And because she's a rugby player and a coach, so what happened here is she's also one of the fantastic share of using RG Plus because they play and they want the stamina when they play for the game itself. So they just share. So she got her small group of friends. So you can imagine that, huh? So with that, if you just choose to become, all of us start from here. I start from here as well. So we call preferred customers. So when you start from there and you are a preferred customer, means that, example, if you have this aloe itself and you like the aloe vera after I share, then you have a 5% discount. Simple as that. All right. So we start from here. So imagine after you use it and you decided to have more discount. I believe many of us will always ask, how to have more discount? All right, whenever you go and buy things, you ask friends, how to have more discount? I ask the boss how to have more discount. So imagine in 2 consecutive months, if you spend 2 case credit, all right, you will have an extra so-called 25% more. So it means in total, this bottle will have 30% discount. Wow. As a customer, isn't it wonderful? Instead of 5%, you become a 30%. It's wonderful, right? So it's important. So you opt to become a preferred customer using the product at 30% off. But at this stage itself, you can also choose to become a customer, or you want to choose to become a business partner itself. So you opt in to have a business partner, means that you will have an extra 5 to 18% so-called discount itself. That means you want to do the business. So imagine you opt in to do the business. All right. So when you opt in to do the business, all right, you yourself will start to share. Sometimes you do not know, right? So just like recently, one of my customers were diabetic. And then after I shared with her and she used and her diabetic improved from using 3 medication, metformin to 2. And then after that, no more metformin. Now it's 0 after 4 months using aloe vera itself. So she was very fascinated and she started to share with her mom, her brothers and sisters. So she started to do small retailing. So with that itself, you have an extra earning of this group of the customer, 30% to 48% depends on your level itself. So earning from your so-called preferred customer retailing. So imagine this group of the customer was just like you, want to use 30% more, right? Means you want to increase the 25% extra of discount. So what happened here is started when you actually do this itself, you're able to become a sponsor to introduce the people into the business itself. From here, you'll have an extra, okay, of 25 to 43%. Wonderful, right? So this is where you can choose your path. Some of your customers will say that, Ross, I enjoy your service. I just want to stay as your customer. So they just stay at 5%. There's a group of housewives will always tell me, how can I have more discount, Rose? So I'll tell them how. So they will actually use 2 consecutive months to accumulate their so-called use and share to go into preferred customers to enjoy the 30%. Some after that, they will actually get excited and say that, hey, how can I earn extra income from here? So this is an important part whereby you become a business sharing. So imagine that you started to share with more people and more people like your business. In this case, I'm just using myself as illustrating. Remember just now I tell you the first 2 person I want to share was my 2 sisters. All right, so I call my sister up and say, hey, I think something exciting to share with you. So I bring my 2 sisters and one of my second sister was actually an accountant. So she said, let me think about it. My younger sister was Mabel, was actually a graphic designer. She was 1 year in working and she would like work like, graphic designer, you work day and night, but no rest. She said, tired, chair, really cannot take it already. So she said she wanted to join me. So my younger sister joined me first. My second sister was still as a customer herself. Imagine this. So in this scenario itself, and then you start to share. So what happened here is when you complete your 2cc as a so-called preferred customers, and then when you want, you have a 30%. So you're known as an assistant supervisor. Remember that if you want to be a so-called partnership itself, that means you opt in to do the business itself, you have an extra 5%. Okay, you look at here, there's actually this so-called, you see an arrow turning up, you say boost your bonus itself. Once you go up, you will never go down. So here is only pointing up and you never go down. So whenever you reach that level, you never come down. As example, after you do itself, and all these people started to do and share. All right. So imagine 1 case credit is about 8 bottles of aloe vera in Singapore. All right. So I usually tell them to use 4 bottles a month. So imagine a husband and wife are using, so 8 bottles in one family. So imagine this lady using one case credit, John used one case credit, and her friend, his friends, or the sisters and family started to use. So if you total up, it's actually 12.5 case credit. So you 2 consecutive months, that means 2 months, you do not need to do in 1 month. 2 consecutive months, you completed 25 case credit. Congratulations. You get into 38% personal discount. Isn't that wonderful? So with that, you are able to share with a group, not by yourself. All right. So in this case itself, you have a team of group of people that work together with you. Therefore, you move to the next level to have a better discount of 38 from 35 to 38. So with that, imagine your whole group continue to grow, continue to share, and you go into assistant manager because you complete 2 months consecutive 75 case credit. At that time, you have 43 personal discount. When your group continue to share and you completed 120 case credit, you're known as the manager and you enjoy 18%. I thought it's wonderful. Our time is only 120 case credit, and few years ago it started off, if you do it instead of 2 months, 120, you can use 4 months to complete 150 case credit. It means you total up your 4 months, and if you complete 150 case credit, you're also known as a manager and you will enjoy 48%. Imagine you're using this bottle of aloe vera by yourself, for yourself. Instead of paying for $47.62, you got 48% off, my dear friends. How much is that? It's only $25. It's wonderful. So it's a way to help ourselves. When you're doing the business, the product get more and more so-called, the price is really more reasonable. So imagine this. When you have a group of preferred customers, remember, your preferred customers itself will enjoy their 5%. So you have a 5% all the way to become a manager of enjoying 18% extra so-called bonuses because of your preferred customers. All right, so this is very important. So preferred customers is something that is very important. I want to point out later to you. And the next one, okay, of the business itself is called volume bonus. So these are the payout, be it for ourselves, personal discount, preferred customer that you share, extra percentage, and the volume bonus. That means your group, not just your direct that you share with this person, but his customer or her customers who are using the products itself, you will have an extra 3 to 13% extra. I believe you see a star there. A star means that you need to be active. There's no free lunch in this world. Agree with me? All right. So you need to do something. You cannot say I don't do anything of the business and you expect to earn money. It's as good as saying that, boss, I don't come to work. Boss will pay you every month. You wait long. Which boss will do that? All right. It's very important, right? You need to go and do something. Therefore, you earn that income itself. So same for Forever itself. You have to be active doing the business itself. But I think it's really reasonable. As in, these are the group of people that all these, whenever you wanted all the group volume bonus itself, we call it the volume bonus itself, you need to be active, even as a so-called assistant supervisor. If you choose to become a preferred customer, that means you only enjoy 30% because you're not active. So therefore, you do not enjoy the extra 5%. So this is very important. So with that, this group sales of getting into 120 case credit, become a manager is very simple. So long as you have you as a manager got 18% and you have an assistant supervisor, you got an extra 13%. That means whatever they use, $100 of spending, you have a 13%. Wonderful, right? So imagine you have a group of supervisor. That means they are enjoying 10% and you are enjoying 18%. So you have an extra 10%, pardon me, with not himself, but his group. Imagine you have an assistant manager itself. He himself is actually enjoying 43% off, but you have a whole group, not by himself, of extra 5%. This is really important. It's not about that person, but it's the group sales itself. So that make it very interesting. All right. So with that, we all need to be so-called active, as I said earlier on. So the active is very simple. That means personal use. Remember, I talk about using aloe. So we have 5 people in our family, including my grandson, and the rest itself. So we use aloe, we use honey, we use skincare, we use shampoos and everything. So personal use. All right. Actually, personal use for our entire families itself is already more than 5K credit. But I'm just giving you illustrate if you are very new into the business and you're using 1K credit, meaning that example, you're using 8 bottles of aloe vera. Don't talk about the rest of the products. Just think of using drinking aloe, you and your husband, your families itself are using. And then you have a retail to this gentleman itself, 1.5. All right, that's about 12 bottles of aloe vera and another person. So you total up, this will be your active. And these are the group of people where will help you for long. It's very, very important. Do something about it. All right, so with that, there's another one called leadership bonus. See, the bonus are keep coming. As long as you are active and you're working and you're sharing, once you become a manager, it doesn't stop there. And remember the arrow that is moving up itself, it only go up. It's supposedly you become a supervisor and then you stop for a while because your customers are still building and you'll continue to become a so-called supervisor, continue to enjoy the 38%. Anytime when your group and your sales is ready, you will get promoted again. So this is very important. So same thing, when you become a manager, usually you are by yourself. Imagine your group itself are growing. All right. I always say this, if you have only one McDonald's in this world in US itself, will you and me know McDonald's? Not so. Maybe when you travel to Arizona travel to US and then you happen to eat in that restaurant, then you know, oh, there's this shop called McDonald's in US. But why every part of the world people know about McDonald's? It's because there's a lot of so-called shop of McDonald's all over the world. All right. That's why people know about McDonald's itself. Same thing. When you see leadership, so-called bonuses itself, it's as good as saying that your business is growing and your managers are enjoying the business and they started to share. So with the first year of the manager itself, you got 6%, not by yourself. It's this manager whole group. That's how my younger sister, Mabel, become my first manager because I share with her, we work together, we share together the products itself, and then the business grow. And then she become my first manager. And then with that itself, her second tier, have someone also love the business, love the product, continue to share and do this business itself, you got another 3%. And then the third generation of manager itself. So these just go on, and this is wonderful because when your network grows itself, and then this is beside your income will come, your income of the group sales will come in. And you can qualify extra things called the Eager Manager Retreats. You have Forever to Drive. Last time we call it EIP. Now it's called Forever to Drive. And this is very important because it's the extra money that's being given to you. And then some people say, if you don't want to use it to finance your car, your petrol itself, you can use it to buy new dresses. I think by then you have to think of how to buy your wardrobe. But it's an extra money that's given to you. All right. So it's called Forever to Drive. And till today, I get Forever to Drive since year 2001, January till today. I've never stopped getting my Forever to Drive income. Right, that's very interesting. So with that, you are able to go for a global rally. Back then, we call it super rally. So with that, it's every year I travel to US. Last time, we always go US. All right, so it's very important. That's how I get to meet Vera because we happen to go to Houston together. So this is important, whereby we travel, right? Whereby you travel, and now it's called global rally because you meet the rest of the people in different countries. Chairman bonus. I always say that when I was a nurse itself, and that year, there's a so-called financial crisis. So they declare no bonus for this year. Well, I happens to become, a senior staff nurse itself for the next 5 years. There's no bonus because it's actually under financial crisis in Singapore. So there's no bonus. All right. But in Forever itself, you see, last year, be it there's a pandemic or when is the crisis itself, the bonus will never stop failing giving to each and every one of us who work hard for it. So this is really something that I think is wonderful. And the other one is called Jane bonus. Jane bonus will give you extra. Imagine your leadership bonus that you continue to increase from 6 to plus 3 is 9. From your 3, you get another 3 is 6. Another 2 get plus another 3% is 5%. So imagine that your leadership bonus become Jane bonus because you have more so-called managers that is around you, that you have built this group of people, you get more income. I think this is really wonderful, whereby they make sure that you actually earn more for that. So how does it work? So imagine you have a group of people, right, that you continue to use and share the CC itself, right? So it's a duplication, all right? And then you started to share and use and retail. So imagine myself, I share the 4cc, I retail and use the products. And then I sponsor 5 people. I can share it within a month. I can share it consecutive 1 month, 1, and then 5 of them, and teach them do the same thing. It's a duplication, do the same thing. It's just like we do duplication of our children, teach them how to wear their shoe, how to bathe themselves, how to eat themselves. It's the same thing. So we teach whatever you know, you teach, you teach. So it's very simple. So imagine these 5 of them sponsor another 3%. All right. So you got 15 FBO itself. So by then you also do the 4K credit. By then you already have 60K credit extra. So with that, the third generation itself, they sponsor 2. So you got 30 FBO right now doing the same thing. And the total together, when you look at this, there's total 50 FBO right here. But how many did you really talk to? It's 5. The rest of the 45 is not your friends. It's not you are the one who sponsored, but you sponsored the 5. The other 45 is from your group. That's why it's called a teamwork. That's why you complete 204cc. I think this is really fascinating when I look at this itself, it's a team effort. All right, so you're never alone. Work and share and grow the business together is really wonderful. All right, that's how when I grow this business itself, I did not sponsor 5. Back then, I only have 2 managers itself. And then I built it down. Guess what? I only have 2 business manager back then. I already have my 5,000 income. I was very excited because it's important that you share and you help together and share and duplicate the thing. So it's called duplication. Okay, so it's very important. It's just an injection. I'm a nurse. If you ask me how to give a good injection itself, I can tell you how to go about it because I know the technique. I've been doing it. So I can teach how to give a good injection, painless. You're not here. All right, if not, I can give the injection for you. Joking. But it's important that we do this. All right, so you learn, you have the experience. Just like I'm very good in talking about aloe vera and skincare and so on because it really worked on me. So I just share what I know. So this is very important. Share, teach. And so it just keep going. So with that, when you have your preferred customers and then you just continue to grow your business itself. All right. So, so sorry. Let me go through this. I just want to tell you on this. So with this itself, let's go through the important part of it, what I go through just now. All the bonus of the percentage is based on retail. Imagine, let's say your retail price is $100. That means selling price. All the percentage that I tell you just now is based on retail price. All right, so it's very important. The next thing is it get you 2 months to move up, consecutive months. So you do not need to do it in 1 month, but you can actually consecutive 2 months to go through it. And then you do not need to re-qualify. Once you reach that level, it's lifetime. You qualify for lifetime and until you are ready to move on to the next level. So this is wonderful. All right. And the next thing is good, it's important. There's no pass up. Once you are become assistant manager, assistant supervisor to manager itself, you will always be there and no one can will pass up. That means do it better. That means cut off from your network itself. No, they are forever part of your network. You can actually do better than your upline, but they are always your downlines. So this is very important. They are part of your network itself. So it's a proven track record because I myself have done that and I find that it's very important that I've seen and the inventory is good, no large inventory. You do not need to stock up. This is very important. You do not need to invest. Why? Because now you can order and things can be just sent out. This is very important. Not like I need to order pet food, right? Order all this. You need to stand by all this. It's consumable product. This is what I love most. Use, get lesser and buy again. Use, get lesser and buy again. So a business whereby you can keep going monthly. And this is important because they use and they finish. So this is important. Financially stable. Forever is a very stable company. If you really look into their so-called company plans and everything, is very important because you want to work with somebody that is stable. They are able to pay off the income and the rest of the thing is very important. And the source of income is also very important because you get to it's vertically integrated itself. That means from down and go on to the rest, and it's international presence that you do not need to just do within your own country, but you can go internationally. So it's very important. So the profit, the retail profit is very interesting, because remember just now I tell you, all you share with your preferred customers itself. Retailing is actually at a very so-called good income itself. You can do your retail. At the same time, you have your preferred customer, whereby these are the people that can help you to do your so-called maintenance, all right, active CC, and these profit so-called preferred customer bonuses. Remember just now I talked about 25 to 48%. So these are the extra. The group volume bonus, when your group grow, this is the extra so-called income. When you help your group to grow itself, this is the extra income. It's wonderful. So it's really what it says. When you help others to get what they want, you get what you want. So this is really a important part, whereby even with the leadership itself, these are the group of people that when they become managers, their group are growing, your income are there. And Eagle Manager Retreat, you get to travel and get Forever to Drive, as I shared with you. This is my first time when I get that. All right. And I'm still pregnant. All right. Before I give birth to my daughter itself. So I get my first so-called Forever to Drive till today. All right. So it's interesting. All right. Global Rally, I get to travel US ample time, countless. All right. Chairman bonus, the bonus that you are able to get extra. I said, when I was working as a nurse, that's 5 years, they freeze bonuses. Why? Because of financial crisis. But I never see Forever freeze. I'm here since 2000, and now it's already coming to my 21 years in the business itself. I've never seen them freeze bonuses itself. You just go for it and they'll just pay you, and the gem bonus itself. So these are the extra things, is very important. When I started Forever itself in year 2000, there's only 68 countries. I'm already so excited. But right now, how many countries you have? 160. So it's like everywhere you go, you know, you can share about this. And the best part is right now you can connect with these people through your the social media. That means through your Facebook, your Instagram, and so on. That's how I get connected with people in France. I thought was very interesting. During the pandemic itself, people talk to me about the products, how can I help myself with my hypertension and so on. I share them about Aloe itself. So this is exciting. The world is getting nearer. All right. So although you can't get out of the house because of COVID, but you can share this within your phone. All right. So the phone was actually very interesting. So I just want to share this. I just want to thank Forever. When I do Forever year 2000, I only have one daughter. All right. And I always hope to have more. All right. And my dream was to have 4 kids. All right. But I don't have, for 8 years, I don't have children. So when I use the products itself, I got a 7.8 cm fibroid. And then after using the Aloe itself, I conceived the second one. But when I conceived the second one, the bad news come. I have a growth in my brain. I was having, this is when I was doing Forever the first year in 2001, and my eyes cannot open. All right. And I'm conceiving my babies, and I'm still doing Forever. And guess what? I continue to share. Although the products itself, the network continue to grow, my income continue to come. Back then, I become 6 months later, I become full-time in Forever itself. I'm just very thankful. And my third relapse itself, that's a year that I'm fighting for my so-called biggest bonus check itself. And when I was doing my radiation, I was not able to continue to share because I can't even walk properly. All right. But the business continued to grow thanks to Forever products itself. Why I say that? Because I can't open my eyes. I was going through like that, for those who know me in the early days itself. And I was able to open my eyes back after I gave birth to my daughter using large amount of products. Every day, 1 bottle of Aloe, Palmistines, and so on. 1 month later, things get better. That's why I always love the product, because I'm the product of the product, because many of my friends see my change and my health get improved. And this is really important. So this is all my sisters. They're all in the business, 3 of us. The center one is my mom and my husband and my brother-in-law. So I just want to highlight this is why I treasure this is very important, because I was sick for 2 times, pregnant 2 times. So with Forever itself, I got two extra children. So the last one is my son. And with that itself, I was excited because I was able to conceive the 3rd one. But that's when I still have my brain growth, and they all think that I should not continue. But the good news is the Forever product give me the so-called belief that I can actually continue my pregnancy. So I got my third child. My third son is called Rex. That was the year that we celebrate 25th anniversary of Forever itself. So it's exciting. So I named my son Rex, and now he's already 18 years old, pardon me. I was excited with the products because it bring me health and it bring me income. For that 2 years itself, I calculated I got 88,000 just for my bonuses, not including my money income. That made me fascinated. I feel thankful because I have that. And when I went, this is one of the year in 2018 when I was going back to US itself. And I thought, I think the bonuses, if you think, can you do it? I always go back to the first time when I got Forever year to dare to give. Then it's still, why not? Dare to give and get if they can do it, well, as you, all right? You only take 2 case credit to start the business and how can I help you? So it's very simple. Join us today. Don't think, do it. Take action. You will know that you get better. So as long as you're 18 years old, you can start the business. Isn't it simple? And you need someone to introduce you into the business. To sign on is only a $40, but the interesting part is you use it as a voucher and it's actually zero to start off, zero. All right, so there's no signing on fee itself. There's no registration because you use that as a voucher. And then that's how you start the business itself. All right, so with that was simple. And this month was very exciting. When I see this, I was very happy in August itself. It says that instead of doing 2 case credit, which is about 17 bottles in Singapore to complete your 2 case credit, now you by buying 12 bottles of aloe vera, 1.5 case credit, you automatically become a 2 case credit and you can start your journey to become a preferred customer or become a business owner, Forever business owner, to start this journey together with us. If you are in Malaysia, don't worry, 2 more bottles only, extra, 14 bottles. So you also move up from 1.5 case credit to 2 cc and you can start the business together with us. It's very simple and easy. All you need to do is share the products. If you're new in the business, get your your friends who have introduced you into this business itself to come and help you to share. Contact the person, ask them how to share, how to go about it. They will help you, they will teach you, they will journey you. That's why I say you do not need to have experience because we're all here to help you. All right, so it's very important. Helping others to get what they want, you will get what you want. Seriously, Forever is so simple and so easy. And I want you to enjoy this business just like what I do. I'm passionate about the business. I'm passionate about the products itself. I'm in love. All right. So it's basically in love with the business and the products itself. So I think it's important. There's many people will come to my office in Forever itself and wanted to sponsor me into their business. But I always remember my husband, okay, will always tell them, no need to try. You can never get her. All right. So why? Because I'm in love. Because the product really talked by itself. And the marketing plan was straightforward and easy for me. I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight. I've been to this farm for 2 times. In year 2002, I was there and Rex was there. I have a few pictures with him that we take at the Forever so-called plantation itself. That's the time that we fly with him to the plantation. I couldn't find that picture because you should be in the office itself. And this is the second time in 2018, I revisit the plantation again. And that was really lovely. That once again, it gave me a lots of encouragement of doing Forever itself because it's really a wonderful business. Help others people to get what they want. You will get what you want. Thank you very much and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you to the gorgeous Roslyn Ng. Let's give her another round of applause. And thank you everyone for joining tonight, taking your time to join tonight. And so again, if you have anything, any questions from the talk, from what you have heard, please ask your introducer or someone who has invited you in. All right, so I wish everyone all the best. Stay safe, healthy, and fitter. Thank you.